Managing Director Curtis Martin to step down. Regionally, Guyana pushes for bold new framework to finance biodiversity protection. And in sports, J3A's president Garth Gale remains confident in relay teams despite missed qualification marks. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Starting December 31, 2025, Jamaicans living in the United States will face a 1% excise tax on money transfers sent to relatives back home, following the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act in the United States Congress. The legislation aims to generate approximately $10 billion in revenue from remittances sent to multiple countries. While the original House version proposed a 5% tax, the final bill was amended by the Senate to set the rate at 1%. The tax will apply to remittances sent through cash, money orders, cashier's checks, and similar instruments. Bank wire transfers and payments made using debit or credit cards are exempt. Notably, the measure primarily targets green card holders and visa holders, while U.S. citizens remitting funds to Jamaica will not be affected. Jamaica stands to feel the economic impact sharply. The country currently receives $3.3 billion to $3.5 billion annually in remittances, with the vast majority coming from the U.S. These inflows represent an estimated 17 to 20% of Jamaica's GDP and are a critical source of household income, supporting consumption, education, healthcare, and small businesses. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is officially the chair of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. This 6-month position involves providing policy direction, advancing the implementation of CARICOM's objectives, and representing the community in regional and international engagements. In his address at the launch of the 49th meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM in Montego Bay, Jamaica over the weekend, he said the work of the Caribbean bloc should be centered on people and partnerships. He says it's clear that the world is not unipolar, and there are opportunities to be explored.
There are gains which we have left on the table, unexplored. And as a community, we must strengthen South-South cooperation. We must strengthen our trade cooperation with Africa. And we must strengthen our internal cooperation.
Dr. Holness says the resources in CARICOM are sufficient to provide for the needs of Caribbean people.
Guyana with energy and land, Suriname with energy and land, Trinidad, Jamaica with incredible human resources. What has stopped us for these many years? We have been saying we really want to get it. Did we really want it?
The new CARICOM head says the time for prosperity is now.
But that prosperity must be inclusive. It can't be for some. It has to be for everyone in this region, including our brothers and sisters in Haiti.
History and hope merged in Kingston on Sunday as a proud son of the soil. Jamaican jurist Justice Winston Anderson was officially sworn in as the 4th president of the Caribbean Court of Justice. The ceremony, Filled with regional pride and vision, also reignited calls for Caribbean nations to fully embrace the CCJ as their final court of appeal.
In a moment marking Caribbean pride and judicial progress, Justice Winston Anderson was sworn in as the fourth president of the Caribbean Court of Justice. He took the oath before Governor General Sir Patrick Allen with Prime Ministers Dr. Andrew Holness and John Briceño of Belize among the regional leaders in attendance.
I, Winston Charles Anderson, having been appointed a president of the Caribbean Court of Justice, do hereby swear that I will faithfully exercise the office of president of the Caribbean Court of Justice without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and in accordance with the Code of Judicial Conduct. So help me God.
A Jamaican by birth and Barbadian by citizenship, Justice Anderson is a former CARICOM legal advisor and UWI law lecturer. He described the CCJ as a cornerstone of regional sovereignty.
It has often been said, but it bears repeating on this occasion, that the CCJ is an emanation of our own collective imagination as a people. It was not imposed on us by anyone. Rather, it was conceived and established and is maintained by the people of the Caribbean to serve Caribbean interests.
With over 15 years on the CCJ bench, Justice Anderson says he is ready to deepen the court's connection with Caribbean citizens.
I would like for the court to intensify its itinerant sittings so that the people of the region can see us, interact with us, and realize that we are in fact their kith and kin and part and parcel of the fabric of their society.
Prime Minister Holness extended congratulations, calling the movement one of pride for the region.
I extend warm and sincere congratulations. Your appointment is a moment of pride, not only for Jamaica, but for the entire region. You bring to this office a distinguished legal mind, a profound commitment to Caribbean jurisprudence, and decades of service grounded in scholarship and vision.
At 65 years of age, Justice Anderson brings a wealth of legal experience and a renewed vision to the CCJ. With the backing of regional leaders and citizens, his leadership could signal a turning point in Caribbean justice. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Denita Rodney.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says Jamaica's strong and resilient economy is a result of disciplined fiscal management and sound governance, and it laid the foundation for sustained national development. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for the multi-billion-dollar Western Resilience Water Project on Friday, the Prime Minister said Jamaica's financial stability is enabling transformative infrastructure projects across the island. He likened Jamaica's economic momentum to Guyana's oil boom, calling it a pivotal moment for long-term national transformation.
Recently decided to give an unconditional cash transfer to its citizens from its national budget. And they did several of it. They gave out the household something like $400. They gave students who are going to sit their CSEC exams, they gave them a grant. Where did they get this cash from? They're building massive highways. If you go to Guyana now, Guyana's growth rate is, I figure it's in the 50% growth rate, high growth rate. Where did all of that come from? Guyana discovered oil.
Dr. Holness notes several key achievements of his administration, including record low unemployment, rising foreign direct investment, and expanded social programs. He says these successes are interconnected, made possible by a stable economy that provides the fiscal space for large-scale investments in infrastructure, health, and education.
Where did that come from? It came from the dividends from the good management of your economy. So discovering good management of the economy is the equivalent of discovering oil.
Despite the positive outlook, the Prime Minister notes that some Jamaicans still feel disconnected from the national economic gains, particularly as they face daily challenges.
And I want them to know that I literally hear almost all of these calls because I monitor the radios, I monitor the programs, and I listen very carefully to the complaints that are made. And I want every Jamaican that is without water today to know that I know. But more than that, it is not knowledge without concern. I know and I care.
The Prime Minister reaffirmed his government's commitment to ensure that Jamaica's macroeconomic progress translates into real, measurable improvements